Welcome back to the channel. I'm Kevin, and today I am making a clue token necklace from Magic the Gathering. This was supposed to be one of my first ever resin prints, but I'm still getting the hang of that process and it's taking me a little bit longer than expected. So I did this all on my bamboo P1P, which went remarkably well, all things considered. So starting at the beginning, I decided to go with the original artwork from Shadows over Innistrad. There are a lot of different versions of the clue token, but this is the one that comes to mind. Really, since this was first spoiled, which was quite a few years ago now, I've wanted to make one. I just haven't had the skills or the equipment. For modeling, I first tried using a circle, the idea being that I could build it all out from here, but I pretty quickly ran into issues. Next, I tried making this with a plane. My idea was to make one of these 7 spikes, and then copy and rotate it before joining everything together. I ended up going back to the circle approach, and just carefully adjusting everything before extruding this into a 3-dimensional object. The trickiest part was making sure I had selected all the points I wanted to move, and then scaling them at the same time. I dropped a sphere into the center, and after I finalized the position of that, I went back to adjusting the spikes. There were a number of ways to go about making this symbol. I opted to trace it with a plane, and then extrude it and use a subdivision surface modifier to smooth out my lines. From there, I used a Boolean difference modifier to cut this into the sphere. I wanted the cut-in symbol to contour the face of the sphere, because this wouldn't look very good if it was just cut in and had a flat bottom. My solution was a little bit convoluted, but did get the job done. I copied and scaled down the sphere, then used a Boolean difference modifier to cut that into the symbol, to make sure it couldn't dig in too deep. With the model done, I moved on to printing, which is where I made a bit of a silly mistake. I intentionally printed this as 2 pieces, and then glued everything together because I was worried about internal supports creating rough areas which I couldn't reach. It turns out I can print this as a single piece without any supports, and it will turn out just fine, which is exactly what I did. I sprayed this with some primer and did end up applying a little bit of wood filler to the underside, but after that I just went ahead and applied some copper folk art metallic paint. Same as with my Demon Castle key from last video, I just went ahead and painted this a solid color. You definitely could go in and paint some non-metallic metal to capture all of these shadows and highlights, but that is way beyond my current skill set. After a couple of coats of paint, I went ahead and sprayed on some clear sealer. The last step, which really elevates this, was attaching some cheap chain which I bought off Amazon. I'm really pleased with the results. It's not something I'll ever actually wear, but it is really neat. So a bit of a funny story before I wrap this one up. This week, I was actually going to post a video about making the Amulet of Vigor, which is also from Magic the Gathering. I'm using that project to get more familiar with my resin printer, and as I often do, I made some mistakes along the way. So I'm reprinting aspects of that project while recording this video. If you enjoyed this video, or you want to see me make more Magic the Gathering content, then go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to make your own, I'll post all the files online. They'll be on Thingiverse, like always, and probably at least one more site, because Thingiverse isn't doing too hot right now. Either way, check the video description down below for the links, and I'll see you all again next time.